Alright guys, so here we go. We're gonna finish up welding this. I got the welder on, I got my hammer, got my gloves, and I'm just gonna get it a little bit closer than it was last night. Alright, is that good? Go up a little bit. Alright. Like I said on the last video, I'm going to finish tacking where I was. I'm going to start up here, put one here, and just work my way around nice and slowly. I'm going to do that now. We also got these patches on the bottom here that either tonight or tomorrow I'm going to make a template out of cardboard. I'm going to show you how we cut the sheet metal and to make this patch on the bottom on both sides. All right, ready? That's close. Yeah. Put my ground on. Yep, ground is ground. Now I'm just going to start welding. Go to town. Let's put my first weld here. Make sure it's nice and even with the quarter. Always want to be checking to see if it's even. It's a nice weld there. I'll come up close and show you. Nice little bead right there. What I do when I weld is an old trick somebody taught me. You could either, some people like to pull with the welder or push as they're welding. I got taught with a welder to, when you start welding, to go in a little circle like that. And that's the way I like to do it. Everybody else, there's 100 different ways you could to weld. That's the way I prefer to do it, and it works for me. Whatever works for you, it's a personal preference, as long as it comes out the right way. People have all different kinds of doing stuff with this. Give it a little push with that. A nice one. Like I said, give it a little tap to get it even with the paddle. Because the heat actually, when you weld it here, the heat actually travels a little bit, so you'll be able to move it. Good right there. Very nice. You see how I'm spreading it apart evenly? That's what I'll do. I'll go around the whole thing like that. Because you don't want to hold it on there long. You will warp the hell out of this panel. I always learned how to MIG weld. I'm not with the stick, the TIG. I never really learned how to do that. which down the road I do want to learn how to do that, because I see it all on the TV shows, like all the shows that I watch. All I do is take the body hammer, push it in a little bit, so it's nice and even. Trick. You could take the while it's cooling, you could take the air blower and cool it down so you're not warping the hell out of this panel. All I'm doing is checking to make sure we're level here. That's the biggest thing with this patch stuff, is to make sure you're level here. And you see, this is a little bit open there. That's all right, because we can weld that. It's not a big deal. Close-up picture. See how I welded that right there? And I'll make the beads like that. I could have put a sleeve in there, or I could have cut it a little bit better, but it's okay. It's a workflow. Here, give it a little push. Now this one here. Sometimes I'll put it against my chest like this. I'll do it up here first. This one moved out a little bit too much. But you'll see how the heat, once I tack here, the heat will bring this part of it in. See how that brought that in? said last night, if you're hitting it straight, it doesn't move the metal. That's because it works the metal better. It shapes the metal. Very nice. In a few minutes, I'm going to start grinding it. Now I'm going to work this side. This top looks really, really good. Couple here, and I'm going to work this corner little by little. Little by little. See, this has a little bit of an overlap there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little cut here so we're even. little bit at a time, section for section. All in the field too. You can see if I do a lot. This one here. Well, both of these corners here. Then I'm going to give it a quick grind, and then I'm going to go over and tack it, or keep tacking it. And the same thing with the grinder. When you go to grind this, you don't want to stay in one spot too long when you grind this, because the grinder creates heat. And if you go crazy and stay in one spot for too long, it heats up the metal and you have major warpage here. So you got to go easy, and that's why I like to use this, which has 80 grit on it. Sometimes the Rolox here have 36 or even a way heavier grit of grinder. So I'll go over quick with this, and I like to use this. To me, that's what works for me. Like I said before, everybody has a million different ways, whatever works for you and whatever you're comfortable with. But that's what works great for me. Not to make this video too long, I'm going to grind it, and I'm going to 80 grit all this here. 80 grit all this here. So you have a little bit of warpage here, but that's okay. You know, you can't control that. It does sometimes. This dent was already here, so you do have a little warpage going on here. So I have the paintless dent tools. So sometimes if that happens, what I do is I'll stick it in, I'll find a hole and I'll stick it in, or I have the Uni-Spotter where I can weld a little stud with the Uni-Spotter with this thing. I'll weld the stud here, zap it on, and just pull it out a little bit. So it's, because the better the metal is, the easier your Bondo is. I can't stress that enough. It's like, if you know, it's so much easier to do Bondo when your metal is straight. And Bondo gets a bad name because people use it the wrong way. Alright, I'll continue here. Nice weld in this corner here. Oh, the guy I follow is, which is really good, is You Break, I Fix. I forgot his name, I remembered it now from last night. He does a lot of the, he worked in a body shop, but he does a lot of PDR now. He's really good. I like to follow him. I gave him a shout out, so hopefully he sees my video. Another guy I follow, I think it's Bondo Billy's. He's an old timer, and he's a funny guy. I'm not here to judge anybody on the way they work. You know, people all have their own style in what they do. And whatever works for you, like I said before. A lot of people who judge people in this business on what they do and how they do it. And quick little grind in a minute. Get this all ground. I have to do a little bit more welding, but I'm just going to show you the preparation before we do filling. But it's getting there. It's starting to look like something now. You know, it's tough when you're only doing it a couple hours a night after work. If you're doing this full time, I'd probably have this welded, done, primed in probably both sides, probably a day and a half at work. goggles on. I'll show you, like I said. This mini grinder first, just to get the heavy stuff off. And then we're going to switch to the belt sander. Yeah, I'm moving around. I'm not staying in one spot too long. Belt sander actually cuts it quicker, if you ask me. And I've used this. This is the Harbor Freight one I told you about yesterday. I've used this for 2 days straight, and this thing is great. Works great. Change the belt, push down, hold that, and the belt comes off. Put a new belt on. You just slide it in here, like that. And just hit this button right here. And the belt goes right on. show you with the block in 1 minute. Some guys don't have the feel, which I'm going to show you how to do it with a block if you don't have the feel. What I got the Durablock Velcro. Okay, I know there's all types of blocks out there. Big kit blocks. They have can't think of the name of it right now, but they have other blocks too. Which these are very good. You know, these are good for collision. If you're doing restoration, then you want to get into those other blocks, which will make the car very, very straight. I'm going to show you a trick that I learned when I first started. That'll show you where your highs and low spots are by just grabbing a block and blocking this with, you can block it with 80, 180, whatever you prefer. But this is how I usually do it. So I'm going to block here using crosshatch. This was already a low spot here. I should have, when I had this panel up, I should have put my paintless dent repair tool and popped this out before I put the panel on. But that's okay. going to do, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to use that stud puller to straighten this out a little bit more, which I'm probably not going to do tonight, but I'll do tomorrow. Using cross hatches, I like to do cross and then circle. Show you your highs and your lows. Low, low here, low here, low here, low here. You have a little bit of a high spot here. That's why it's showing the metal. See this here? That's a high spot. Because you see how it cut through the metal? But you are going to get a little warpage, and that's what I got. Just a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, because I'm going to take the stud puller and we're going to straighten that out a little bit. And I'm going to DA all this with 80 grit right now. Big ass high spot here, a crown. So that might have been there already. This one, I know this one is definitely there. Before I put filler on, I like to sand it down to that. You see that gray, whatever it is, tan E-coat. The tan E-coat before I put filler on. That's the best way to do it. If you don't sand it enough, body filler will peel. It won't stick correctly. Ooh.